The baritone ukulele is big. It's so big that it fits on my guitar stand. You can't really do that with the tenor ukulele. Now that's interesting because if you transition from guitar to ukulele, the baritone feels like home. But if you have been playing a soprano or a tenor ukulele, the switch can be quite daunting. Is the baritone ukulele even worth trying? How do we tune it? How do we play it? How do we hold it? Can we learn one song and play it on both a tenor and a baritone ukulele? Well, let's find out. So a few days ago, I bought myself a new ukulele. I told my wife it was a sponsor, but it was not. I actually bought it. Yeah, I said it was a sponsor. Now, of course, it was the first time I tried this size, so I approached it with an open mind. And what I mean by that is, yes, we call it a ukulele, but we agree that it looks, it feels, and it sounds different from a tenor or a concert ukulele. This ukulele is the KA Baritone Ukulele. It's entirely made of zirikote, so top, back, and sides made of zirikote, which I love. The neck is mahogany and the fretboard is rosewood. The total length of this small beast is 31 inches, which is a massive ukulele. I didn't expect it to be that big. It's really thick and fat. Lovely though. I like the tone a lot. We got 18 frets and Graphtec newbone nut and bridge. Guys, KA is outstanding when it comes to quality build, honestly. Beautiful sound. Aquila strings, and it came with the bag as well. I don't really like the natural gloss. Now the big difference between a baritone and a tenor ukulele doesn't stop with the size, even though it's clear that, you know, we're talking about two completely different instruments. Look how big is the baritone compared to the tenor ukulele. I mean, we're talking about almost like guitar size here. Another massive difference is the tuning. The baritone ukulele is tuned 2.5 steps lower than the soprano, the concert, and the tenor ukulele. In short, it sounds deeper. So let's talk about the tenor uke for a second, since we are all familiar with the size and the tuning. The full length of a tenor ukulele is roughly 26 inches. Its tuning, which we refer to as a standard ukulele tuning, is interesting because we have G4, C4, E4, and A4. And yes, indeed, the fourth string is higher than the third and the second string. Now this is called reentrant tuning, which is kind of messed up because it means that it doesn't follow a linear sequence of pitches from lower to higher. But this is also a blessing because it gives the ukulele the heavenly sound we all love. This is why strumming the ukulele is so awesome. Because we got this perfect range and this unique sound. Now the full length of a baritone ukulele is roughly 30 inches, and honestly, I like the size. I like the extra space between the strings, and I think, the baritone ukulele works excellent for fingerstyle. It's tuned 2.5 steps lower than the standard ukulele tuning. This is 5 frets lower. We have D3, G3, B3, and E4. It's basically tuned just like the top 4 strings of a guitar. Now this is called linear tuning because the strings run from lower to higher. Now that's cool, but what about the sound? Well, the sound of the baritone ukulele is definitely quite deep. So when you strum a chord, you don't get this heavenly bright sound that a tenor or a concert or a soprano ukulele can give you. And speaking of chords, can we use the same concert, soprano, and tenor ukulele chord shapes on the baritone ukulele? The answer is yes, but you will need to make adjustments. Yes, because the chord shapes don't change. And what I mean by that is the C major chord shape that we play on the tenor ukulele can be played on the baritone ukulele. But of course it sounds different because the baritone is tuned 2.5 steps lower than the tenor ukulele. The notes we are playing are different, so the name of the chord is different. This is a C major chord on the tenor ukulele, and this is a G major chord on the baritone. So the chord shapes are the same. We will have to change the way we name the chord. Like if you want to play a C major chord on the baritone ukulele, it will look and sound like this, which is an F major chord on the tenor. Now this is an awesome news because it means that you don't have to relearn the instrument from scratch. All the chords you learned are still there. You just have to call them according to the baritone tuning. There is also a way to use your baritone ukulele with the standard ukulele tuning. Just put the cape on fret number 5, and there we go. Now this is in low G, so you can play the same standard ukulele tuning. It doesn't make sense though, because if you buy a baritone, it means that you want to play a baritone ukulele. There is no point, I think, to buy a baritone ukulele just to make it sound like a tenor ukulele. So if you want a tenor, just get a tenor ukulele. If you want a baritone, just get a baritone ukulele. If you want the baritone to sound like a tenor ukulele, just get a tenor ukulele. Now I want to know what you think. Do you like the baritone ukulele? Do you like this comparison between the baritone and the tenor ukulele? Of course, they're completely different. The baritone feels more like a guitar, so you really would have to think about it. Of course, we are going to use this ukulele on this channel because it's a great ukulele, and we will have lessons and courses coming up soon using the baritone ukulele. So stay tuned, because we are also building an awesome community page so that when you learn something, you can share it, you can make friends, you can make uke friends, guitar friends. We are building an awesome community, guys, and I can't wait to tell you more about this project. In the meanwhile, just stay tuned and keep practicing, keep learning. Let me know if you like this baritone ukulele, though. I'm very, very curious. Do you own a baritone ukulele? Are you happy with your baritone ukulele? Do you prefer it? Or are you always going back to your tenor or to your soprano ukulele? Let me know.